What is up, homies? So we are here. It's been about 2 weeks since my last boss update. Last week, I actually didn't have much to update. So what I wanted to do was show what I really did within last week. On my arc had the most amount of changes within the last 2 weeks. Nodes are still about the same, but it was mostly the gear. So I would say my arc is mostly at the point I would be content with in terms of gear progression. I do want to continue to level my arcane symbols when I have the time. I do plan to replace my Lydium heart with a fairy heart. But in terms of bossing, I'm able to do up to NLomien on here at a fairly comfortable pace. But I mean, from here it just means that I'll be increasing my clear speeds. So Afterland totems, 12-star 2-line superior ring. I'll get this to 15-star soon. Reinforced rings, 3-line 12 stars, 3-line event ring, 2-line unique synergy ring. Cup, not the greatest flame, it will improve later on. 2-line unique superior pendant, 12 stars. 2-line reinforced pendant, 12 stars. My same weapon, 16 stars, 2-line boss, 1-line attack. I am taking H Lucid carries from a friend, so I might replace this with an arcane weapon in the future, but until then, I just plan to stay with this Absolab weapon. 2-line 16 superior belt, 2-line epic hat. I can improve on this hat, but it depends on how many cubes I get, but since I'm already doing NLomien, I don't feel the need to upgrade my gear immediately, at least for my epic stuff still. 2-line with drop rate on my Power Crystal, 2-line 12-star Black Bean Mark, 16 stars 2-line CRA, 16-star 2-line Epic, 3-line Unique Shoes, 2-line Unique 16-star, 12 stars. This has to be upgraded still. Crit damage with decent Sharp Eye, 16-star. 2-line Unique 16-star, 2-line Attack, Versus Metal, the Crystal Vintage badge, and then a 2-line attack, 1-line stat. So this character is just going to be done. I won't be including it in the future videos until I do more gear upgrades. I don't plan to do more gear upgrades on this besides the heart. Once I get the heart done, I'll just be focusing on other mules to make sure I get them up to NLomien before I try to speed up their pace. And another main thing I did recently was I did do the Monad request, which now I put all these on my bossing mules. So I have 5% boss damage, 15 attack, 10 all stat. So having this is just because I don't have Root Abyss Master on everyone, and I think this is the best way to just get a little more juiced on my bossing mules. And it's pretty much free to get. I did get some friend to carry me just so I could get the title, but I mean, being able to run 3 times per character makes it that much easier. The next character is my Pathfinder. My Pathfinder, I'd say, is close to completion. I didn't level it to 220 yet, like my arc, so this still needs some levels. You look at my gear, it is still missing some levels, and ability could use some work. I do think I want to try at least a Lotus attempt. I don't think my render is ready for gaming yet. I do have a lot of stars done on here, and I do need to work a bit more on some of my potentials. I believe I had something not done on here yet. I'm still looking for 15% potentials on some of my unique lines. This one I'm still missing 3%. 8% crit damage, which was good enough. Still need to be potted up. And then I usually stick with the Phantom Forest Guardian medal, just because I still take Helix carries. At least I did at the time. I try to get this on other bossing meals as well as I slowly set them up for Colix gear. This is still going to stay for now. This is still missing 3%, and then I have still. Once I get to at least 220, I feel like I'll have enough final damage to comfortably do Lotus and Damien. But until then, this is still only going to be doing up to Akechi. I might do a separate recording of a Lotus attempt, and if it goes well, I'll probably go on YouTube. In terms of the nodes are still about the same, not really any improvements. And as you can see, I still have this same title, as you'll see for the rest of my bossing mules in today's video. Next character is the Hoyoung. Hoyoung I did level 220. And in terms of the gear for the Hoyoung, I'd say I'm also close to finishing my Hoyoung's gear to NLomien level. I still have to get more comfortable with bossing on my Hoyoung, but it's on a pretty similar pace to my Pathfinder at the moment. I don't have my hyperstats set up at the moment, but without hyperstats, you can still see most of the gear is 2-line unique. It is generally 15% for most of this gear, at least on this character. I plan to replace this with a fake Dominator. I am running H-Lucid on this character as well, just because I have a friend with a slot open. So I might try for an Arcane fan on here if I'm lucky. If not, then I'll still be able to clear bosses fine with my gear at the moment. In terms of the nodes, none of the nodes have improved, but I was able to slot in last resort. So hopefully this will speed up some of my bossing. I haven't done bossing on the Hoyoung this past week because I'm on Heart of Liberation on my main. So I am skipping some bossing this week just because I simply don't have the time for it. Now we'll go to my my Dark Knight. Dark Knight, I was talking to some other Dark Knight mains. I've made some changes to at least what I chose to slot in for my nodes. I do feel like I lack the levels on here, which is kind of important, at least for Akechi, Lotus, and Damien. So the nodes, previously I had Darkness Aura slotted in, and I decided to remove that for Radiant Evil and Blitz Shield, which means I also took out my bind. In terms of the gear, it still does up to Akechi. As long as I have G skills, I can clear Akechi. Without G skills, Akechi comes kind of close. But I think I haven't attempted again since I made, I think, small gear upgrades since the last recording I made. The main gear upgrades would have been that I swapped from 4-set reinforced to 4-set superior, and I did try to re-roll some of my potentials. I recall some of them not having strength lines or only 1-line strength, so that was definitely an improvement on this character. I do need to work on my shoulder and cape. I do plan to get them to at least 12-star epic, and then they're gonna stay like that until I can fodder them into 15 stars, or I'll be waiting for the no boom room in the night troop event. The next character is my Buccaneer. I actually was able to finish some upgrades on my Buccaneer. It is finally at 5-set Absolab. So it's getting close to about 10k stat. I'm pretty sure I can clear at least Akechi. I will try Lotus and Damien once I'm closer to 12 to 15k stat. I do need to still work on Golix gear, but I'm not quite there yet. I'm still doing some runs. I did get a superior drop recently, so I 12 starred that and just rolled for at least one line strength, and I luckily got a second line. I have a non-relevant flame, but I can fix that later once I get some boss flames. I do have a Absolab weapon still using this Chaos Horntail necklace, and I decided to put some stars on the Mechanator. Everything else, I believe, was roughly the same on my Buccaneer. Bunch of 16 stars, bunch of 12 stars. I tried to re-roll my emblem. It's better than before, but it looks kind of ugly still. I decided to settle on this for now until I get more mesos. I'm mostly just waiting to try to get my other boss mules up and ready. So before, this was, I believe, one line attack, one line stat, and it's at least one line attack, two line damage. It's better, but not the best. I did take this to a hard lucid run as well. I didn't get any drops, but this medal is better than my previous one. I also fixed up my secondary, so now I have boss damage attack. The cape, the cape is about the same for now. Having the cape and shoulder shoes are the main upgrades. I was able to get them from NLomien trades, as well as the shoulder I actually just bought after I did some weeklies. So I'm trying to do a mix of buying weeklies, buying gear from doing weeklies, and hopefully I can finish the rest of my boss meal soon with 5 set absent. So the next character, so I had a Night Lord, and I decided fairly recently, because a friend convinced me that I should do Shadower instead. So I used a job change coin on my Night Lord, and it is currently a Shadower. I was able to finish 5 setting this. So my previous weapon in secondary are this claw and this secondary. And as you can tell, I am rocking a 17-star Absolab weapon now. Has very good flame, T6 attack, T4 boss, T3 damage. And then I have a 2-line attack, 1-line damage, unique secondary. Everything else should be about the same on my gear. I am slowly pushing my gear for Force Absos. I bought this pendant earlier this week. I just need coins for the Superior Ring, and I also plan to buy a Reinforced Ring later on. Honestly, with the way my Shadow is at the moment, I do feel like it is one of the stronger characters I have. I was talking to a friend because I threw in probably 200 notes onto this character. I found perfect trios. I still need a few slots where I want to attempt NLomien. I just because Shadow is a fairly strong class, and I do want to slot in Shadow Assault and Sonic Blow. I am trying to figure out how to fit in Last Resort, but I'm talking to my Shadower main friend to figure that out. Now the last two characters. Last two characters are very, very rough. I have a Marksman, which is currently a Pathfinder for the sake of leveling to 210. I don't have anything on this yet, but this will be shown in a future video. I have my Ice Lightning, which I do want to show. Still also a bit rough, but I started at least with the secondary. The gear is not quite there yet, but I'm working on at least getting them a badge and then 2 IED familiars. So I plan to stick with doing explorers for my bossing mules. So I have the Daimyo shield already, I put in I got 2 Absolab items because of HLOM carry. I do plan to finish the rest by just doing Scrapyard or Dark World Tree. I mostly just need the cores at this point. So that's pretty much it for this week's bossing update. So Marksman, Eyes Lightning in the future, Shade's still going to be worked on, but I am lacking a lot of boss cores and just drops from Scrapyard and Dark World Tree to gear them up to 5-set Absolab. I'll be doing that while I have time. I run maybe 1 or 2 characters a week. I was reading about a way that would help burn Scrapyard cores faster. I'm going to attempt that after I finish my H-Will Liberation quest. And until then, hopefully you'll see me with 1 or 2 more NLomien mules next week. Luck to the people who are going to do 5, 10, 15 this weekend. We'll see if people are either going to get more gains on their mains or more gains on their mules. I'm probably going to try to just have some of my 15 to 16s on the bossing mules you've seen so far. Besides that, I don't think I'm going to do much because I'm mostly saving for no boom room and just trying to get all my gear to 15 stars on these bossing mules. Anyway, until next time, homies, thanks for watching.